Hey guys, what's up? It's Robert here to bring you an informal vlog. I'm here to talk about Iron Man 3. Alright, so this movie released last Friday, and I went to go see it that night with a couple of friends, and I gotta say, it's probably one of the awesomest movies I've seen in a while. In comparison to other movies, I think The Avengers was still better than it, but Iron Man 3 still does kick some ass. It's a really, really good movie. In this video, I'm just going to be talking about what I thought of the movie. There will be a few light spoilers, nothing story related, just like some of the comedic moments. I'll probably be talking about those. And yeah, I'll probably be asking a couple questions at the end because there are a couple things that did confuse me. Anyways, let's get on with it. Alright, let me go ahead and start by saying that those of you who are looking for a completely serious movie, a completely action-packed, serious drama, Iron Man 3 movie are going to be really disappointed because this movie is not very serious at all. Like, there's so many comedic moments that they just throw at you. It's like they'll have complete seriousness. Maybe some kid is dying or something like that. And then they'll just be like, well, the kid must be a pussy, or something like that. They throw comedic moments at you just in the worst times, and it plays out great. Alright, so I think my favorite comedic part of the movie is when he's breaking into the Mandarin hideout, and Tony Stark has got one arm. He's got this one arm of the Iron Man suit, and then he's got a semi-auto pistol in his left hand, right? And what he's doing, he's entering, it's like a warehouse kind of deal. There's rafters all over the place, and he's just flipping guys over the rafters. He's shooting them, he's taking out guards one by one by one by one. And then what happens is that he sees a guard down below him, and he takes his arm and his pistol, and he points down at him. And then you see the guard down there just pointing the gun at him, ready to shoot, and you see what happens, and he just goes, dude, I don't even like my job here. Like, that was probably the greatest part. Everybody in the theater was laughing their ass off. I mean, that was amazing. Anyways, I do gotta say that my favorite badass part of the movie had to be the final battle, of course, whenever he called all the Iron Man suits in. And I gotta admit, I was a little bit skeptical about this because, in my opinion, the reason or what makes superheroes so special is the fact that there's only one of them. If there are 3 Iron Mans out there, you probably wouldn't care as much about them. If there were 6 Captain Americas, you probably wouldn't care as much about them. And what in my opinion, what makes superhero special is that there's only one of them. So when he called in these like 30 suits, I was like, oh, come on, are they really gonna do this? Are they really gonna call 30 suits in? And then it saved it. What he did was he was fighting the big boss guy, the Mandarin, and he was punching him, and as soon as the bad guy just disabled one of his suits, maybe just crushed the iron in to the point where he couldn't use it, Tony Stark would just be like, eject, and they'd fly out that suit, and he'd go right into another one of the 30 suits that were just floating around kicking ass. So he'd switch from suit to suit, and each one had a unique power to it. Like, there's one of them in particular that you've probably seen in the trailer if you've seen the trailers. It's like a fat kind of Iron Man suit, and it's capable of holding like a ton of weight. And what it did is it held up like a giant platform, and it saved his life multiple times, I think. And so he jumped from suit to suit to suit to suit to suit to suit, and then at the end, like the bad guy just couldn't take it anymore, and he lost, obviously, because, you know, it's a superhero movie, happy ending. But I gotta say, that was my favorite moment. I was a little skeptical about it at first, but, you know, they saved it, and they made it very badass, and I really liked it. As kind of a closing note, I'm going to go ahead and say that Robert Downey Jr. did a fantastic job as Iron Man. Gwyneth Paltrow did a fantastic job as Pepper. She looked very beautiful. And one of the characters I think that doesn't get really talked about very much is the girl who played Maya. I don't know who the actor is specifically, but I thought she did a very, very good job, and I thought she looked very pretty in the movie. The cast did fantastic. The villain, the Mandarin, both Trevor and the actual villain, they did a great job, and then they just played the evil greatly. They had sinister minds, they had good plots, they had good character, good acting, and I really enjoyed the cast. I actually do have a couple puzzling questions that the end of the movie left me with. So you know how that the whole villain is based on regeneration? If you lose a limb, he could just grow it back, and then they're glowing orange and they've got heat. And now my question is like, where does the heat come from? Like, the main villain, he could control heat, and he could put a bunch of it in his hand at a certain point and melt, like maybe Tony Stark's suit, right? He could concentrate all this heat into the hand, but my question is, where does that heat come from? What people have been telling me is it's just kind of like a byproduct of the regeneration. Like, you know how, allow me to digress a little bit, but you know how in photosynthesis, you get, as an off product, you get glucose for the plant, and then a little bit of water transpires. My idea was that heat was that little bit of water. It's just a natural off product of that regeneration. Anyways, comic book nerd. Not really. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like. If you didn't, don't. See you next time. Peace.